Oh man, I really dodged a bullet by not marrying you. I mean, I can't believe that we actually got so close to really doing that. Wouldn't that just be the worst thing in the world? I really just can't wrap my head around how close I got to doing that. After all, you only graduated high school, isn't that right? How could you not have told me that before you and I got engaged? What in the world were you thinking?
I'm sorry, Jack, but I really just can't understand what my educational background has to do with any of this at all. But what's more than that, I just really can't believe that you would invite me over to meet your family and then that you would just make fun of me like that.
Oh, come on, are you serious? Did you really not think that that was gonna happen to you once I figured out the truth of who you really are? I mean, really, what else did you expect when you were trying to worm your way into my elite family? Don't you know that everyone in my family works at one of the largest banks in the country? A lowly little nobody like you would never in 1,000 years be able to become a member of my family. If you really ever thought that you even had a chance to begin with, that just shows how stupid you really are.
Well, fine then, but since we're not getting married anymore, I just really don't understand why you need to keep being so mean to me like this.
Oh, come on, just what in the world makes you think that you're deserving of having someone be nice to you at all? I still just can't believe that you came over to my house to meet my family because you thought that we were still getting married. But at least I seem to have set you straight now that you realize I only invited you over to cancel our engagement. And I just hope that serves to teach you a lesson about trying to worm your way into families that are so much higher than you. You don't belong here, don't you get it?
Do you really think that you're all so great just because your family all went to college? Is that really where all of this is coming from?
We didn't just go to any college. We all went to some of the top schools in our field, and that's why we also have amazing jobs in the finance world now. You know that not just anyone can achieve what my family has been able to achieve, don't you? Then again, I guess that you really wouldn't understand since you barely even graduated high school.
I really just can't believe that you're acting this way, Jack. I mean, don't you have any shame about what you're saying at all?
And just what would I even have to be ashamed of when it comes to you, huh? You're nothing compared to me, and I have every right to talk to you however I want. After all, I was the one who went to college. I was the one who worked hard to get a great job at a bank. I was the one who did all of it, so I have a right to be proud of myself.
You keep talking about how you've done all this to yourself, but I really think that you're only riding the coattails of your family.
You don't know what you're talking about at all. I worked hard and got to where I am because of it. I can't believe that I almost let a girl like you trick me. But I guess I understand why you're being so bitter right now. You were so close to getting in with my family, and now you're just back to where you started.
And I just can't believe that I could have ever trusted that you were a nice guy. Instead, you just tricked me to come over and fall right into your cruel trap. But you know what? I'm glad that you did that too, because at least now I know the truth, and I can just give up on you entirely.
Well, the choice was actually never yours to begin with, if you must know, but you really did have me going for a while. I remember when you took me to where you worked once just so you could try and improve yourself in my eyes. But the thing is, I actually thought the spot didn't even look all that bad. But it was only after that when I learned just how low of a person you really are. And that's when I realized that everything you had been selling to me was nothing but a lie.
You know what, Jack? You can just go on and say whatever you like about me. And I'm sure that you've already made me the butt of so many jokes around the office water cooler. You must be laughing your butt off with all your little banker friends.
Well, I mean, it is a pretty funny story when you think about it, right? I mean, I ended up engaged to a little loser like you. We almost got married. But then at the last second, I figure out the truth and convince you to come to my parents' house, only to find us all there ready to tear you down and cancel the engagement.
That's right, you sure showed me. Well, you know what? I don't even care if you do go around telling all your friends about all the horrible things that you did to me. After all, Who would care about what happened to a little loser like me, right? I bet you all have such a sick sense of humor. And you know what? The truth is that I am really, really sad that you treated me this way. But now all I can really do is laugh about it myself.
Well, I don't really care at all about how you react to this kind of thing. After all, you're just a little loser who was never, ever going to truly marry into my family. I really don't think that you even understand just what's so funny about all of this to begin with. You and I live in completely different worlds. What do you know about anything?
Well, I suppose you're right about that. We do live in different worlds, don't we? Maybe you're right. Maybe I just don't understand.
But don't you worry, since you said it was okay, I'll be sure to talk to everyone at my work about what a loser you are and how I totally embarrassed you in front of my family. So I guess thanks for giving permission to keep reliving that hilarious memory of mine over and over and over again. I'm sure that all the guys in the office will think that it's just hilarious.
You're right. I mean, what was I even thinking? A little loser like me could never even come close to being part of such an elite family of bankers like yourself. In fact, I really should be thankful that you ever even gave me a chance, even if you don't know the full story. I think I might actually cry from how grateful I am.
Well, if you're trying to convince me to take you back, it's far too late for that now. I don't know why I'd ever want anything to do with someone like you ever again. But you know, I do have to say that at least I'm glad to see this turn in attitude from you. I thought that you were going to be so much more bitter about this, but I guess that you just have finally accepted what a loser you really are.
You are exactly right about that. That is exactly what is happening and nothing else. I am just a loser, and that's all there really is to it.
Well, anyways, I don't really see much reason for us to be carrying on this conversation now that we've established just how much better me and my family are compared to you. So have a nice rest of your life, you failure.
Although, I think that I should just correct one little thing that I don't think you've quite realized that yet. The truth of the matter is that I actually graduated valedictorian from Oxford.
Okay, come on now. What is this? I thought that we were through with all the lies. I'm sorry, but it's far too late for you to try and convince me of anything but the real truth from here on out.
So you mean to tell me that that guy really was the one that you were telling me about? I really just had no idea about that at all. You know, had I known, then I never would have done anything in the first place. Julia, you really don't have to apologize for it at all, you know? Well, I mean, you say that, but I was the one who introduced the two of you to begin with. I am so sorry that I did that. I really just had no idea that Jack would end up being that kind of a guy in the end. He always seemed so nice to me, and I thought that he was always so close with his coworkers because he was just a friendly guy. Well, I really just don't want you blaming yourself at all. I mean, the fact of the matter is that you just didn't know the kind of guy that he was, and that's okay. But anyways, I also should have been more careful about trusting him and looking out for red flags. After all, the two of us ended up engaged. Oh, well, that is just so nice of you to say to me, but I still just can't help but feel so guilty over all of this. I mean, maybe I should have just kept my big mouth shut to begin with. I really don't think that you have anything to blame yourself for at all. If anything, I think that the two of us were just tricked by him. I think that Jack is one of those guys that is really good at getting people to think that he's good, but that really he's just a big, huge jerk underneath it all. But I think that if we can, I'd really like to try exposing just who he really is for the whole world to see. I mean, sure, that all sounds good on paper, but how could you even begin to do something like that and get away with it? Do you have any idea on how to make that happen? I don't know. I just know that Jack thinks that he's on top of the world and that nothing could ever take him down from the status that he has. But I think that we could use his overconfidence and take him down hard. I just know that one day he'll take a step too far and that'll do it. Well, as great as I think it would be for that to happen, I really am just not sure about that. I mean, I'm still just a little confused about all this anyways. Why would Jack put you down after learning about where you went to school? Well, the thing is that I just don't think that he ever believed me when I told him where I actually went. All he does is think that I graduated high school here and then just never went to college afterwards. I mean, I guess I understood why he might be suspicious of where I went to school, but I don't think that it's all that rare for people to study abroad anymore anyways. Although I don't really care one way or the other if he believes me or not, it just really isn't any of my business. Man, I mean, that would really frustrate me, to be perfectly honest with you. After all, I think you probably have a much better school record than him. It's ridiculous that he doesn't believe you. Well, I think that maybe some part of him is just too scared to believe that anyone else could achieve more than he could. And I think that really it all goes back to his parents, if you really want to ask me. I think that they're just all rotten, cruel people who look down on others. Well, I suppose I can't really say much about any of this at all, considering the fact that I really haven't done all that much with my life or gone to any fancy schools or anything like that. Oh, come on, Julia. You really have to stop putting yourself down like that. You don't have to be ashamed of that at all. You don't have to go to a fancy school or anything like that to be a good person, you know? And you work so hard at your job, and you're really, really good at it. So I don't think that you have anything to be ashamed of whatsoever. Well, I really am glad you feel that way, because sometimes it can get kind of easy to feel down on myself, you know? But you're also really good about never being mean to me. Of course, you're one of my closest friends, and I would hate to make you feel bad for anything like Jack did to me. But actually, since we're on the subject of all of this, I was wondering if I couldn't ask you for a little favor.
Hey, are you there? Is this supposed to be some kind of joke or something? I mean, really, what the heck's going on here? Why in the world are you showing up on TV all of a sudden?
Oh, I guess you must have seen the interview I gave for my company the other day, is that right? But thanks for checking that out, I guess. I hope that you like what you saw at least. Anyways, is that all you wanted to say?
But, I mean, they showed a picture of you on the TV, and you were in a graduation gown, and the people on TV said that you actually did graduate top of your class from Oxford.
Well, that's what I told you, isn't it? I really don't get why that should be so surprising to you at all. But yeah, I was talking to the reporters who were doing a profile on me, and they said that they really wanted to show that photo and talk about my past.
But I don't understand. You never told me about any of this at all. How in the world did you manage that, and why did you keep it a secret from me all this time?
I really didn't keep anything a secret from you at all, Jack. In fact, I even told you the last time that we talked that I went to Oxford, remember?
But well, okay, sure, you told me all of that, but how was I supposed to know you were actually telling the truth? Did you really think I was just gonna believe what you'd said to me? Why didn't you show me that graduation photo of yours or something? At least if you had shown me that, it would have acted as a kind of proof, you know?
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I just don't really think that I owe you any kind of explanation for anything at all at this point.
I'm still just so confused. You told me that you graduated high school here, but that you never ever went to college. Is that not just lying to my face?
No, I said exactly what I meant to say, and you read into it as much as you wanted to. I told you that I graduated high school here, but that I didn't go to college here. Here being the US, of course. And the truth is that I actually didn't go to college right away. After I graduated, I had to work to help support my family.
So, then you just finished high school, helped out your parents for a while, and then you just went to Oxford? How does someone even do something like that?
Well, what can I say? I guess that I'm just a really studious person, and they really like that about me.
Oh, come on, you can't just brush that off as if it's nothing. You were literally in the top of your class at one of the top universities in the world. That's not nothing.
Well, yes, I know that a lot of people like to make a big deal about me graduating at the top of my class, but I even told you about that as well, remember? Although, unsurprisingly, you thought that was a lie too and just laughed it off.
But that's because I really did think that you were lying to me that whole time. I mean, how in the world was I ever supposed to think that someone like you, who graduated high school and then did nothing else, was actually an Oxford grad? I think that anyone in their right mind would assume that you were either joking or lying or something. Certainly not that you were telling the truth about any of that.
Well, I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, I told you the truth and you didn't believe me. So I don't really understand how you're trying to spin this back on me.
But Okay, all right, you got me there. You were honest with me, and I wasn't listening when I should have. That much I admit. But now that I finally know the truth about who you really are, how about you and I get back together? I think that you and I would make the perfect couple, now that I know everything.
You really think that I want to get married to you after all that you put me through? And is that all you...
Oh, come on, what are you talking about? Just up until the other day we were engaged to each other and you couldn't be more happy to marry me, right? I just don't understand how your feelings could change for me that strongly in such a short amount of time, you know? And now that I know you went to a good school, I know that my parents would love to have you around.
All you really think there is to say on the matter? You think now that you and your family will approve of me that I'll just come back without any issues at all? You might think that we don't have any problems between us now, but I have a huge problem with you, if you must know. Just why in the world do you think that I would ever want to get with such a cruel and discriminatory man like yourself?
Look, Ashley, I already said that I was sorry about all of that, okay? But I really don't understand where all of this hostility is coming from. I acknowledged that what I did was wrong. What more to it is there?
Do you really just have no shame at all? Do you actually think that you can treat people the way that you treated me all because of where they went to school?
Oh, come on, what are you even talking about? You never ever told me that you went to Oxford. You should have told me from the very start. Obviously, knowing that would have changed the way that I see you.
And that is exactly the problem I have with you. All you care about is people's backgrounds, but you don't actually care about the people themselves.
I really think that you're blowing this all out of proportion. I mean, really. Don't you get that I thought you hadn't even gone to college at all? In fact, you should know that my parents actually did see your little interview on TV as well, and they were absolutely shocked to find out the truth. So please, can't we just go back to the way things were? I think that you and I would make the perfect couple if you just gave me a chance again. Don't I at least deserve that?
What are you talking about? In what world would you ever deserve a second chance after the way that you treated me? Besides, if anyone is going to be deciding if you get a second chance, it is going to be me and not you. Anyways, I have better things to be doing right now, so if you'll excuse me, I think I'll be getting back to my life now.
Wait, no, please, don't go yet. I'm not done saying all that I wanted to say to you, Ashley.
Well, I really don't have anything more than I need to say to you. After all, you were the one saying you were going to make fun of me to all your coworkers, remember? You thought that you were better than me, and your first instinct was to brag about it to others. That's really low, don't you think?
But Okay, you're right. I shouldn't have done that either. But look, I can go back to all of the guys at the bank and explain to them that it was actually just one huge mistake, okay? Is that going to make you happy?
You really just don't get what you put me through at all, do you? I don't really care at all what your coworkers think of me. But the fact that that's the way you decided to respond to everything tells me all that I needed to know about you.
But that's not fair. Besides, you should know that everyone else thinks that I'm a great guy who works really hard.
Right. Well, have you even talked to your boss, Mr. Henderson, about any of all that you've put me through, though?
And just why in the world would I have anything to say to him at all, huh?
Just call him. I think that you would be really interested in what he has to say to you. Although I doubt that you'll be able to get through.
I don't know what you think you're getting up to, but you should know that Henderson is a good friend of mine. But if you really want me to tell him about this too, I'll indulge you. What the heck is going on here, huh? I tried calling Mr. Henderson and he wouldn't pick up. It was just like you said to me. In fact, I tried calling a bunch of people from the office just now and I couldn't get through to anyone at all. What the heck is going on here?
Well, I don't know. Do you really think any of your coworkers would want anything to do with you after the way you treated me? Maybe you should try reaching out to Julia instead. She might have something to say to you.
But, I mean, come on, Julia is a nobody. She just works as one of the grunts. She isn't anywhere near the level I'm at. She should be taking my calls for sure.
You really just don't get it at all, do you? You think it's all about status, but you haven't realized that it's all been slipping away from you.
You're not making any sense at all. Nothing is slipping away from me. I probably just can't reach anyone because it's Saturday right now.
Really sure about that? Maybe just try ringing Julia and see what happens.
Hey, Julia, this is Jack. Do you have any idea where Mr. Henderson is? I can't seem to get a hold of him, and I really need to talk to him right now.
Oh, hello there, Jack. I'm afraid that I'm just a lowly little cog in the wheel who didn't go to any kind of fancy school at all. I don't think that I can help you out at all. Anyways, if that's all that you wanted to talk to me about, I would really appreciate you not communicating with me at all during work hours. I have better things to be doing anyway, so if you don't have anything else to ask me about, I think that I'm going to start ignoring any calls I might get from you.
But, wait, hold on. What are you talking about? You can't be serious about all of this, right?
Oh, I'm afraid that I am serious. But I don't really understand why you're even talking to me at all right now. I thought that you hated talking with people that you thought were beneath you.
No, look, I don't know what's going on or what Ashley's been telling you, but I really just don't want you to think that I think that way. Of course, I think that it's important to treat everyone equally, and especially people who I'm romantically involved with. But the fact of the matter is that if they can't keep up with any of my conversations...
I'm sorry, but why are you telling me any of this at all? I really am just not interested in the least about your warped views of the world. And you should know that the rest of the people from the office are pretty sick of dealing with you as well.
Wait a second, you mean to tell me that the other people in the office also feel this way about me? I had no idea about that at all. How did they even get the idea that I treat people like this?
Well, I think it mostly just comes from the fact that you do treat people this way. And especially when we all go out for company gatherings. You're always bragging to everyone about how things were when you were going to Stanford. You're always going on and on about how the conversation there at your school was so much more classy and refined, and how nobody at the company is even worthy of talking to.
Oh, come on. Are you really trying to tell me that people from the office were getting upset over just a little bit of drunken smack talk at the company outings? Well, it's not my fault if these guys are all just sensitive little babies who can't stand to hear the truth come out of someone who's so much smarter than they all are. I mean, really, am I supposed to feel bad for all the poor little peons beneath me, all because they could never even dream of doing what I've been able to do? I don't really think that's fair of them or you to hold any of what I say outside of the office against.
Well, you know, it's just not just outside of the office at the gatherings where you talk about that kind of stuff, right? I mean, you're always putting people in the office down when you think that you're better than them. You're always going on and on about how you think the entire bank would collapse if it wasn't being held up by your genius. The whole office knows exactly the kind of person that you are, even if you try to put on a charming face when you're in the office.
But that doesn't make any sense to me at all. I try really hard to get everyone to like me, but now you're saying that everyone secretly hates me and knows about how I feel about people who don't have the same level of education as me? How could that be?
It probably has to do with the fact that you're a huge office gossip, and the fact that you think everyone wants to be your friend just because of your degrees. Putting on a charming facade is one thing, but if you just try and gossip and spread rumors about the office behind everyone's back, thinking that nobody is going to trace them all back to you, you're really not as smart as you think that you are.
But I only did that because I thought that everyone liked me in the office. I didn't think that they'd turn around and go tell the person I was gossiping about exactly what I just said about them. Are you really telling me that basically the whole office has figured out that I've had something to say about just about everyone there? And that they've all been able to trace those rumors back to me?
Exactly what I'm telling you has happened. At least I'm glad that your Ivy League brain was able to piece that one together. Honestly, just how stupid could you really get acting like that? But that's not all. Now that the whole office knows just the kind of person that you really are underneath the persona that you show everyone, we've launched an office-wide complaint to Human Resources. So that means that they are going to look into all of that you've been saying, and I don't think that you're going to get off lightly one bit. Do you understand me?
Hold on a second. So not only did you all go behind my back to tell each other the secrets and my thoughts on everyone else, but then you all have the gall to go and report me for those things? I don't see how that's fair at all. I thought that I was able to say those things in confidence to the people that I was speaking to at the time.
You should have thought about that before you went running your big fat mouth. But I guess all I can say to you is that I hope you learned your lesson after this. Because not only did you blow up a potential marriage to someone who your family would have adored and who would not have only been great for your career but is also just an all-around great person, you might have even ruined your career as well.
No, this can't be happening. Things weren't supposed to go this way. I don't believe what I'm reading. Please, you have to do something to help me. Do you have any idea what my family is going to do to me if they found out that I've caused this much trouble?
If you think that anyone in the office is going to give you a hand after all the coattail riding you've been doing, well, I think it's high time that you have a little check-in with reality. After that, the HR office at the bank where Jack and Julia worked processed the complaint and only uncovered more terrible things about how Jack was treating and talking to the rest of the staff. Despite protests from his parents, who were high up in the bank, Jack was let go of his job and became a black mark on his family's otherwise impeccable legacy of pretentiousness. As for me, I just thanked Julia for telling Jack how things were going to be and went back to my life. Of course, I hope the next man I date isn't such a jerk. But at least I know what to look out for.
You know, I'm not remotely surprised that you haven't been talking to me. So how is my father's other child, huh? Let me guess, you're still as strict as ever, right? You get it from our father.
I literally tried to get in touch with you a while ago. You never answered. I was calling and calling, but you never picked up. You're so frustrating to deal with. Look, Dad passed away. You haven't even bothered to visit him, and you knew he was quite ill. He really wanted to talk to you, and you never gave him that chance.
Are you kidding me, Alana? He's actually gone? Dad is finally gone? Oh, this is the worst thing to ever happen to me. He finally succumbed to his illness, then? I shouldn't have to come over and take care of anything. All of the nursing stuff is your job. I never wanted to take care of that sick and disgusting man. That's why I never came around.
Did anyone say anything about you taking care of things or anything like that? I never said that, all right? But someone had to take the burden of looking after him, and I've obviously got a bigger heart than you. All I'm asking is for you to come and visit us, especially our dad. At least you could say goodbye to his body. Could you at least call me more too, Lawrence? I'm grieving here. I would actually love to hear from you. You're the only sibling I have, and all you've done throughout our lives is push me away from you. It's not fair. We should at least be able to get along.
Well, tell me when you're not gonna be there and I'll go over and see his body. I don't get why you want to see me so badly. It's not like I ever accepted you as my sister anyway.
Watch your attitude, Lawrence. Would you please just cut this crap out? I don't need this from you. I just want some support during this time. It's the least you could do for me. How could you talk about our father like this? We're his only kids and you're acting like you don't care about him. You're so insensitive. He did his best to raise us and you're throwing it back in his face.
Oh, boo-hoo, Alana. Of course you always got out of your way to say something bad about me. You always have. You just can't accept the fact that I hate you. He's been bedridden for 5 years, hasn't he? I've been waiting so long for him to leave this earth. I've been waiting so long for my inheritance, and I didn't think it would take our father so long to just die. He obviously didn't want to give up too much. I really didn't think that he'd survive 5 more years. I was really sick of waiting, you know? But now I can just get what I deserve and live the life I want.
Ugh, Lawrence, how could you say something so horrible? He's our father, for goodness sake. You should be treating him with a little bit more respect, dead or alive. I think this has probably been the worst thing I have ever heard come out of your mouth. I can't believe you. I am so over how you talk about people. It's terrible, and I shouldn't have to hear it.
I don't really care what you think, Alana. I'm just speaking the truth. What's so wrong with that? It's your fault that you can take it. You're so weak-minded. What's so bad about being open and honest with my family? I'm just saying that this has been a long time coming, and I just can't wait to get my hands on my inheritance.
Even though you've been more or less forcing me to take care of our sick father for the past 5 years? That's so messed up, Lawrence. You can't think of anything else but the inheritance, I suppose. Our father was very ill, and this could be the last time you see him before we have a service for him. But you won't even do that, will you? Can't you just show our dad a little bit more kindness? He's dead, Lawrence. He's the only father we've ever had. And even after death, you still talk bad about our family? You're just a heartless jerk.
How about you start showing me a bit more kindness before you start critiquing my actions? I'm the son, and I can do whatever I like in this family. And you got no choice but to take it. Since he's dead now, I can be a landowner and be filthy rich. I'll inherit all of our father's land. And guess what? You'll see none of it.
You make it sound like it's an easy thing to do. Why? Wow, you really don't care about anyone, do you? Do you really think that I'm just gonna take this behavior lying down? Besides, it's been a long time since our father made any money off of being a landowner. I don't really know what you're going to be able to do with it.
You've really got no idea what I'm talking about, Alana. The value of land doesn't decrease that easily. I'm not surprised that you got no idea, because you've always had no brain cells. That's how our father lived, as he pleased. Since he was getting money from the land, he doesn't have to worry about anything anymore now, since I get what he had.
He did what he pleased? Are you for real, Lawrence? He's been bedridden for 5 years. He could hardly move. He couldn't do anything on the land. Do you really think he did whatever he wanted with the little life he had left? I can't believe what you're saying right now.
Even if you're bedridden, you can still earn money and have a really good lifestyle. I guess he might have enough money to dish out to me if he was lying in bed all day.
He was just using the money that he saved up all these years. He's no longer in a situation where he can have all the luxuries that he once had.
That's why I was hoping earlier that he doesn't hang around any longer. There'll be no money left if he doesn't, so I'm glad he's gone.
Why are you so hung up on getting an inheritance when you won't even see him? I don't get this. Parents are not just for us to gain something when they're gone. You should probably see Dad's lawyer about the money if you want it so badly. He's probably got no idea what you're saying to me. I'm telling you to come over. Please, just do this for me. I just want to talk to you and see your face. I'm not asking for much.
You're making such a big deal of this. It's very annoying. I'll go over to the house if I can, but I'm not making any promises.
Yeah, I can tell you're not. Well, I guess you coming over is never going to happen. You're so stubborn and insensitive. Lawrence, we really need you over here. Please respond to me when you get this message. Dad's really not doing so well right now. We really need you here. I can't handle having to do this organizing all on my own. I really need your help. I've got something really important to tell you, so please get over here as fast as you can.
Oh, really? Oh my God, about time, don't you think? It's finally happening. You're falling to pieces. Why should I help a weakling like you?
Huh? What do you mean? What's finally happening? I'm so confused as to what you're talking about.
It's almost time, and I've been waiting so long for this to happen. I can't believe the time has come. Finally, I can get on with my life. Well, please let me know when the date and time of the funeral's been decided. I'm gonna get in contact with my lawyer right away.
What the heck are you talking about? Did you not read my previous messages? You know that Dad's funeral service soon, and I'm at a standstill with it. I need my brother. Don't even think about doing anything with your lawyer.
I did read your messages. Didn't you just say you're having a mental breakdown? Do you really think I want to be hanging around you right now? No, thanks. You've always wanted to be free from having to take care of him, right? Can't we just get this over with quickly? Then it'll be all over and we can move on with our lives. I also want my money. I want it in my hands as quickly as possible.
How dare you say such things to me about our father? I don't care about the money, I care about our dad. Just hurry up and get over here. You know you're talking badly about our father, our real father? How could you be like this?
Look, I got no interest in having anything to do with him anymore. I don't care what happens to him. Okay, just let me know when he's going to be put up in flames. You can contact me once the funeral plans are made. You can sort it all out. I'm not going to do anything for it.
How dare you act like this? Fine, be that way, Lawrence. You're a terrible and heartless person, and I don't understand how anyone could like you. I'll just take care of Dad myself, and I'll stay with him right until the end. He deserves to have some kind of kindness from at least one of his kids.
Hey, sis! Well, that was a fun funeral now, wasn't it? I'm sure our father appreciated the send-off.
How could you say such horrible things all the time? I'm so sick of your attitude and what you say to me.
Oh, don't be such a hypocrite, Alana. I bet you're actually happy now that he's gone, so you don't have to look after him, right? You took care of our father, the landowner, for 10 years, and then he passed away. Now you can finally be free of that role, right?
How could you say something about my father who's only just passed away? Haven't you said enough hurtful things? It's supposed to be a sad time, and I'm choosing to be sad over the loss I've experienced, unlike a heartless person like you.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you can feel however you want. So I've talked to the lawyer about what's gonna happen.
Good for you, Lawrence. I've actually talked to a lawyer as well. Dad was worried what would happen to me after he died, so he told me to find a lawyer.
Wow, of course you did what Daddy said. I'm not surprised. You live such a miserable life, don't you, Alana? Looks like I'm going to inherit all the assets and property that was in Father's name. And looks like you're not getting a single penny of it. You've taken care of him for so long, and what have you got to show for it? Probably not a lot or anything at all, to be honest. Thanks for all your hard work in getting me the inheritance. I'm looking forward to having it.
I'm confused. What are you talking about, Lawrence? What do you mean I'm worth nothing?
Did you really have no idea what was gonna happen, Alana? Wow, you really are stupid. It's such a shame that you had to find it all out this way. You cared for our father so much over the last 10 years. But in reality, you meant nothing to our father. He gave you nothing. In the end, I was the cute kid who earned everything.
Well, I'm pretty sure you've got that wrong, and that's not what's gonna happen, Lawrence.
All your life has all been for a dusty old rag. Caring for your father got you nothing. Doesn't that suck so much? To be honest, I'm rolling around on the floor laughing about it. It's so hilarious I can't help but laugh and cry at the same time.
I don't get how you'd find this so funny, Lawrence. What's the old rag supposed to be about? Me cleaning up after our father? Someone had to.
Even though you cared for our father so much, your efforts were all in vain. You ended up with nothing. Did you really think that if you provided him with love and care that you'd get your hands on my inheritance? Obviously, you misunderstood the entire process. You wasted a lot of your life because you wasted time on a man who wasn't gonna give you a single dime. You could have gotten married and had a lot of children during that time. Your life must be such a disappointment. After 10 years of caring for him, you got no inheritance, so you might as well live in rags for the rest of your life. Of course, being the older brother, I'll inherit all the money, but if you hold a grudge about it, you should be mad at our father for choosing me.
You know what, Lawrence? Go ahead. Take the money. It's all yours. Take it all and don't worry about me.
I've got no need to worry about you. I'm sorry, but things were supposed to be this way.
That's fine, Lawrence. I don't need any of the money from the inheritance. I don't really need it even if I asked you to give it to me.
What? What are you even talking about? What's gotten you so high and mighty about this? You seriously don't want any of the cash?
Hey, all I'm doing is staying quiet, brother. I'll hand over the entire inheritance over to you, and then you can do what you want with it. I'm really glad that you were able to get what you wanted, Lawrence.
Also, the beach house by the sea is mine as well. I couldn't forget about that. I've only been there a few times in the past, but it's worth having assets there.
But it's such an old building. What's the point in trying to make money off of it, Lawrence?
Like I told you before, the value of real estate isn't coming down anytime soon. You really are an idiot when it comes to money and property. But I should expect that of my little sister. You were never as bright as me. You're so dull, weak-minded, and stupid, and I don't want a sister like you.
Well, why don't you go to the beach house and check it out? You should see with your own eyes so you can make the right judgment call on it.
That's true. I haven't been there in quite a while. I'll take my girlfriend with me and we can do like a staycation or something. Well, I really can't believe our father's finally passed away. This is the best thing that has happened to me in such a long time. I'm gonna get so much money and have so much land to play around with. It's gonna be great. I'll be able to live such a rich life with my girlfriend and everyone will be so jealous of us.
You're so horrible, Lawrence. You're the worst brother on earth and you're a terrible human being with no remorse. Don't contact me anymore. I decided to disown you because I don't need someone with your attitude in my family. I don't want to talk to you anymore. What the heck? How did you call me? I thought I cut ties with you. What are you contacting me for? Didn't I tell you to leave me alone? You say horrible things to me and now you're desperately calling me?
Look, Alana, that's not important right now. You need to answer your phone when I call. I need to talk to you. It's an emergency.
I've got nothing to say to you, Lawrence. I didn't want you contacting me, but you obviously didn't get the message.
You know how I told you that my girlfriend and I were going to go to the beach house, right? I'm going to show her what a magnificent piece of architecture it is. The only thing that was there on the land it's supposed to be on was a rotting house. It's fallen apart. Don't tell me that's the luxury beach house. It's more like a ruin than a house. It's as gross as an old rag. This can't be right, can it?
You really like using that word rag, don't you? You called me one and now the beach house? You're funny, bro. The ruin that you spoke of is the beach house, Lawrence. What you see in front of you is the beach house. And yes, it's a little bit run down, isn't it?
No way! That's not it, is it? It's a piece of crap. There's hardly anything left anymore. It's like something from a horror movie. Did I just pay a huge chunk of tax to inherit this ruin? Isn't it a ruin? It looks like it might be haunted by ghosts or something. I won't be able to live in this crap hole that I inherited. This is just the worst property I've ever seen. How can something like this not be maintained over time?
I suppose it is. Apparently that beach house is known by the locals as the haunted house. I'm not surprised it's called that since it's falling to pieces.
Are you kidding me? They actually call it that? Is it actually a haunted house? Has someone actually seen ghosts inside it?
It's a shame because it used to be a lovely piece of property in the past. Even in the state it was in back there, it was also called a haunted house. Even if you'd want to sell it, you couldn't sell it because no one would want to step foot inside of it.
I can't believe this place is still standing. What is this, some kind of sick joke? Did you know about the state of this place? I heard it was a luxury beach house with all the bells and whistles. How does it look like this?
What are you even talking about, Lawrence? There's nothing wrong with it, really. It's just everything but a luxury beach house. It's still an alright house, it just needs a little work is all.
Are you delusional or something? There's no way this place could be fixed. This house is not even livable, Alana. It's literally falling apart. Don't you know I paid a considerable amount of tax just so I could inherit this place? I can't live in it and I can't sell it.
But you're the one who wanted the beach house. You told me that yourself. You know, I'm glad that things have turned out the way I wanted them to. I wouldn't have any idea what to do with the house in that state. My wish came true. Why don't you just take care of it?
If I had known that the beach house was in this disgusting state, I wouldn't have wanted it from the inheritance. I should have just taken the inheritance money and I would have been laughing all the way to the bank.
By the way, what money are you talking about again? I'm just a little bit confused by what you're saying.
How can you not understand what I'm talking about, Alana? Man, you're so dumb sometimes. I'm talking about the money from our father's inheritance. Since he owned a lot of land, our father's inheritance must be huge, right? I should have gotten that money. He should have got rid of such a useless piece of property when he was still alive.
I've got no idea what you're talking about, Lawrence, but there's no inheritance money.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? What do you mean there's no money? Of course there's money. He had so much of it.
Did he really not check his accounts or look into what he actually had, Lawrence? All that was left was the debt he was in. I thought that you were good at reading and comprehending things. What money are you talking about, Lawrence? I guess you never really gave up your inheritance. I think it's safe to say now that you're the stupid one. Didn't your lawyer explain all of this to you? I'm surprised that they didn't. I guess they just didn't want to ruin the mood you were in.
Explain what? What is there to explain? I don't understand what you're saying, Alana. You're not making any sense.
Well, since it's about you, brother, I really don't know if I need to give an explanation since you know yourself so well. You inherited that beach house before even listening to the full story, I guess. That kinda sucks for you since you were always known to be a really good listener, but I guess not so much anymore. You decided to take the property for yourself and just went right ahead with getting it, right? Stuff anyone else who wanted it, yeah? I guess you didn't even know what kind of inheritance you were truly left with, brother. You not looking into it more is on you, Lawrence.
Okay, so what if I didn't listen to what my lawyer was saying? They were being a pain and talking about too much legal stuff. But what do you mean about Dad being in debt? I never heard anything about that. How did you know? Why didn't you say anything to me about it if you knew?
I just didn't want to tell you because I thought it would be too much drama for you to handle. And you were so in your head about getting this inheritance that I didn't want to spoil things for you. You also didn't ask about the situation either, did you? I could have told you. I would have been more than happy to explain everything.
Stop with this nonsense and just explain to me what's going on here. You're really frustrating me right now. Why is the house like it is?
Actually, I was told all about his debt before he passed away. I knew everything. I was the one who had access to the accounts and what all the numbers were saying.
You knew? You knew all along and never told me? How could you do this to your own brother? You've completely screwed me over, don't you get that?
How about you calm down so you can think rationally about this? Even though he owned land, he was bedridden for 10 years and did nothing about it. The real estate came to a standstill. He owned the beach house himself, so it was up to him to manage it. Once he was bedridden, it was no longer possible for him to take care of the place. Of course, it would have been cleaned a few times a year. But then time passed, he got more sick, and he never really rented it to anyone, and he didn't sell it either. That's why it's turned into a ruin.
So I guess that's what happens when you leave a property to rot for 10 years. Why didn't you tell me about the beach house?
Ever since you found out that our father needed full-time care, you've been ignoring us. I also ignored it because I didn't want the place forced upon me, okay? That's why I didn't tell you about it, and also you never came by to visit, so it was never really talked about.
I could have done something about it if you'd at least told me what was going on with the property. I would have handled the renovations and talked to Dad about what steps could have been done to improve it.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I can't believe that my brother would care about some property that much.
But you knew that it was going to be mine someday since Dad was the one who owned the beach house. Of course I'd take that seriously and do something about it. You could have told me. You just don't leave things to rot. I could have put my own money towards the repair.
Well, is there really any more point in talking about this now, Lawrence? Nothing's gonna change. You got what you wanted, so now you've got to deal with it on your own. Besides, it's going to be so difficult trying to maintain it, and the property tax is probably pretty high since the house is located in a really popular location. Everything up until now has turned around and not for the better. He has various services such as accountants. Some properties just fail and then the person ends up in a lot of debt, like our father. And what happened when he died? The debt got passed on, to you, no less. After all, it's just a snowball effect, and the debt kept getting bigger and bigger. Of all people, you should know how it works, since you're so intelligent and all.
Are you kidding me? The debt's just gonna keep on increasing, even though our dad isn't around anymore?
Of course, because no one's trying to pay it off, so interest keeps getting put onto it. It just builds up because that's what interest does. You know that this inheritance was not forced upon you. We tried to call you and talk to you before Dad passed away. I got in contact with you so many times, Lawrence, but you never returned my calls or even tried to visit. That's on you, bro. Try actually some of the blame for once in your life.
What a cruel thing to say! You're just trying to get back at me for what I said about Dad! You're being such a little cow right now, and I don't like it!
And so I should, because you said so many terrible things. You basically estranged yourself from us. Dad didn't want things to be like this. So I started the procedure of abandoning the inheritance so I could avoid it. I called because I wanted to explain all of this to you. Our dad just wanted us to get along and be happy. He didn't want to leave us with the debt, but it was too big to handle. You were never good at listening to other people. I wanted to explain everything properly, but you never made the effort to come over.
Well, it's because I never thought that you wanted to say something so important. I thought you were just making small talk. Why didn't you say something to me? This should be your responsibility now. How dare you do something like this to me?
It's more your own fault, Lawrence. You're being so stupid right now. You got greedy and you just wanted your hands on some money.
How dare you talk to me like that? How is it not your responsibility? You didn't communicate with me properly.
Oh my god, this is getting too much. I can't deal with your crap anymore, Lawrence. Dad also gave a message to his lawyer. You were the one who decided to inherit everything without discussing it with Dad, right? He told the lawyer how disappointed in you he was. I don't even know what else to say to you anymore. This has been your own doing, Lawrence. Live with it.
How could you do this to me? How is this even possible? I never imagined something like this happening when Dad died. I was supposed to inherit everything from our father and be happy and rich. And now this is what happens when I show up to a rundown place with my long-term girlfriend? It's not fair. Do you know how embarrassed I was to see that house standing there in ruins?
I have no idea, Lawrence, but I'm sure it must have been so hard for you to handle. What's happened to you has got nothing to do with me. I don't really give a crap what happens to you anymore, Lawrence. It's only natural for me to feel like this after the way our father and I have been treated, right?
But I'm your brother, Alana. You can't just leave me to deal with this mess on my own. You also need to take responsibility for the debt and this beach house.
Like I said already, I'm cutting ties with you. I don't want a horrible person like you being part of my family anymore. I don't want to be involved with your life. Surely that young girlfriend of yours must have guessed what you're like by now, right? Now you're just a scumbag who's rolling in a lot of debt. You're not a part of this family anymore, Lawrence.
Okay, so you could say whatever you want, but I can't. What the heck, Alana? How can you treat me like this? Stop making fun of me.
You treated me like crap before, so why can't I do it now? Isn't it true, though? You're in so much debt now. Dad and I tried to advise you, but you chose to ignore us. You even ignored your own lawyer. How stupid is that? I wasn't the one who didn't listen and ignore the people around me. As a result of your ignorance, you inherited all of our father's debts. And you even inherited that haunted beach house since you paid so much tax on it. It's so lame that I couldn't tell you anything.
Shut up, Alana. You're just so happy because you didn't open your big fat mouth. You got away with not having to inherit his debts.
You would have just taken it all without our permission before I could tell you the truth anyways, Lawrence.
Then why didn't you just say there was absolutely no money and that Dad was in the red?
Well, it's because I never needed any money in the first place. No matter what, you wouldn't have listened to me.
That can't be true. Everyone wants money since we needed to live a nice life, especially now that you're a middle-aged single woman. There's no way that you don't want money when you're probably so unhappy with your life.
Stop making things up. You know nothing about my life. I'm actually married to Dad's lawyer, so no, I'm not single, Lawrence.
Oh, what, really? Since when have you been married? I had no idea that this happened.
I wanted to get married while Dad was still alive, as it would give him a bit of peace of mind. We've been dating for a while, but then we decided to get married. But at least Dad gave me a property that's worth something.
What are you talking about? What could he have possibly given you if he was in so much debt?
He gave me an actual property, not a ruin. He renovated it at his own expense and rented it out. I'm now living there comfortable and paying rent.
Debt? Are you kidding me? You've been hiding this the entire time? Are you for real? That property should be mine.
Why don't you renovate that ruin you own yourself? Maybe you could make some money off of it, if it looks good enough. But since you got all that debt to pay off, maybe it might be impossible to do that. Well, I guess I should wish you luck on your ventures.
Fine. Renovate the beach house, but it's completely in ruins. You can't be serious.
I honestly don't care what you do anymore, Lawrence. You're on your own. I wonder which one of us will be living a life in rags from now on. In the end, Alana abandoned her brother Lawrence and cut ties with him. It seems like she's living a peaceful life without him bothering her. Meanwhile, Lawrence has been forced to live in an abandoned beach house. He was deep in debt and his girlfriend dumped him. It seems like the land was taken by a debt collector until Lawrence could somehow get the money to pay off the debt. Unfortunately for him, the debt still remains as he struggles to make repayments. Greedy people like Lawrence will almost always end up in a worse position because they're too blind to see any faults. Let's hope he can learn a little bit from his mistake and be more considerate towards other people. Maybe his personality might improve, but we all know that it's likely impossible.
Alexa, please answer your phone right now. Are you really messing around with me right now of all times? Where did you run off to after that? Stop screwing around, Alexa! Huh? What do you think I'm screwing around about right now? I'm really sleepy at the moment is all. I just took a wrong turn on my way home and ended up at my parents' place. And I just never expected that you guys would be here right now. That's not at all what's going on here. Just answer your phone right now, please, so we can talk this out instead of having to text. We're at the hospital right now and need to talk. So please answer the phone and let's talk before you have to come out here to see us. What? Why should I have to go all the way out to the hospital to see you right now? That's a real pain in my ass, honestly. I'm not the one who's hurt or sick at the moment. Honestly, Alexa, would you please cut it out with that childish behavior right now and get real with me? Do you have any idea what you just did at all? Before the police and the ambulance had to come out to the scene, you should have been coming over to at least see if things were okay and apologize, right? Huh? The police? In an ambulance? What did the police and that ambulance have to do with me? Why are you guys at the hospital right now? I can't believe this. So you're still drunk right now then? Well, if you were never able to realize this, you went and hit my son with your car. Does that help you recall any memories or anything? Do you think things will end well for you right after you've gone and done something like that in your inebriated state? At the very least, you should be coming out to the hospital right now and apologizing to both my son and I. Why are you getting so upset with me right now? You say that like I hit the kid on purpose, when in reality it was all just an accident, right? All I did was hit the fella a little bit too hard with my bumper. So would you please stop trying to blow everything out of proportion over there? Did you never realize that an ambulance had to literally come and take us to the hospital right after what you did? None of this is just a hoax by me, because he literally had to come to the ER unit here because of the condition you left him in. Did you not realize just how badly he was hurt before you ran off? And when you drove off, I could tell that you were drunk behind that wheel. I can't believe you'd hit a kid with your car, all because you're drunk driving. And he happens to be your nephew as well. There is no way something like this could have happened, and you're still not apologizing for any of it. How much more pissed off are you going to get with me? I'm really sleepy right now, and I think for right now, I'm going to catch some sleep. And perhaps if I'm feeling up to it tomorrow, I'll come out to the hospital and say hi. But that's only if I'm feeling up to it. Huh? So you don't even feel sorry for what you've done to him? What the hell, Alexa? What kind of frickin' nerves do you have to be talking to me like this after what you've done? This is your little brother's son you hit, and yet you don't even feel bad about it? Right now, we're all in a panic after what happened and are seriously worried about how our son is going to recover from this. All right. I get it already. How about you take a second to calm down over there? Right now, I am very sleepy and need to get to sleep. See you later. No freaking way. I can't believe the nerve you have to be doing this right now. I am not going to forgive you for what you've done to your own family today.
I'm on my way out there right now, Chaya. It shouldn't be too much longer before I arrive. How's Cam doing? What happened to him wasn't life-threatening, was it?
Okay, he's not in any life-threatening situation anymore, but he has quite a few broken bones and will have to undergo a few surgeries for them. He was screaming his eyes out, and any time I had to look over at him while he was being taken into the ambulance by the EMTs, I couldn't bear it. I feel so bad for our little boy.
Why the hell did something like this happen to him? I know we just called and all, but I forgot to ask you about that. You were back at my parents' house, right?
I was there at the house, but Cam had fallen asleep, and so I thought it was time for us to start making our way back home. And when I put him out in the car, he woke up and wanted to get out for a little bit. And as he stepped out of the car to run off his energy, he was hit by a car.
And the car that went and hit him was my sister's car, right?
That's right. That left him in a terrible state. I freaked out at the sight of it, and before I even went over to see how he was doing, I called 911.
How about my sister then? Why was she rushing back to our parents' house like that out of nowhere? And what was she doing driving through the yard to park her car at the house? She's never driven that crazily before whenever I've been around her.
Jonas, your sister was drunk when she was behind the wheel of her car.
What? Are you sure that she was really drunk when she came and hit Cam like that?
I am not going to forgive her for what she's done this time. She never even bothered to come and see either one of us to apologize and instead raced into your parents' house after she got out of her car. She fell asleep soon after that, and I haven't been able to get anything else from her since. You really think we're going to be able to forgive her after she pulled something as reckless and deadly as that? I'm not even going to forgive her for being your family, Jonas.
I know that.
What?
You really think that either one of us are going to forgive her for hitting our kid while under the influence? Just because she's my older sister? Not happening. I'll be at the hospital really soon here, so once I'm there with you, let's talk about what to do next.
Understood. I'll be waiting for you in the waiting room. When you're here, give me a call to let me know.
Sure thing.
Yeah, Yeah, I slept so well last night. By the way, what all happened there last night? I can see a ton of calls came from you on my phone, so what's all of that about? Did something really happen that required you to call me 27 times like that without leaving any voicemails? Jesus. Are you saying you don't even remember a thing about what all went down last night? There is no way that can be the case, even for you, Alexa. If you really don't remember anything about all the horrible things you did last night before running away from everyone, well then allow me to refresh your memory on all of it right now, please. What the hell? Are you really that upset about me slightly hitting that little brat last night? Huh? You shouldn't be getting that upset with me over hitting your little brat like that. If he's still breathing, then what's the big problem between you and I? And it's not like any of the injuries he had last night could have been anything major, right? Are you really Cam's aunt if you're saying things like that about him right now? There has to be a limit to how insane you must be, calling your own nephew a brat like that and saying that hitting him with your car was nothing. If you're really going to be calling me, of all people, insane, then that must mean you're even more crazy than I am. What the hell do you think you're saying to your older sister-in-law right now? You cut it out, thinking you have the right to talk to me like that. I am so done with this. So you really don't care at all about what you did last night? Had you actually wanted to apologize to us for what you'd done, I might spend a bit more time thinking on this. But there is nothing left for me to think about now, and I will not be forgiving you for what you've done. My son is going to have to stay in this hospital for 2 months now getting treated because of you. You have to agree that there is no way for me to forgive you now after that. Why do you keep on running your mouth about that? You're not going to forgive me, huh? How friggin' hilarious can you be? Are you really saying that you can do something to me after that? Tell me, what can you actually do to me that might get me to shiver in my shoes? You were literally drunk driving, and you're going to say something as cocky as that? I'm past the point of being fed up with you now, seeing that you don't even feel bad for what you've done one bit. And if you're thinking of talking with the police about all of this, that's not going to work for you. Huh? After all you've done within the past 24 hours, you think that you can keep on running away from it? I can't believe you'd hit a kid with your car all because you were drunk driving. No matter what I've done, it's never going to end with me being criminally charged in any way. That's too bad for you guys now, isn't it? There's no way you're free from all punishment after what you've pulled. Do you really think that everything just revolves around you? Just because I hit your brat a little, don't have a whole temper tantrum. My husband's the sheriff, which means that he'll just cover all this up, and there will be no way for you to prove me guilty. And my father is the superintendent of the Metropolitan Police Department. What? Excuse me? What are you going on about? What do you mean that your father is the superintendent of the Metropolitan Police? You have to realize that you can't just call your father something as respectable as that. I'm not trying to throw a title like that around to scare you, but I am also not lying to you about who he is. I have no plans of letting you get away with what you've done to my son, and I made sure to tell my dad everything already. Huh? Are you being serious right now? Alexis, something tells me this wasn't your first time doing something like this, right? Are you sure you haven't been abusing your husband's power in order to make sure that any charges or cases against you were dropped? If that's really what you've been doing, then it won't only be you who gets in trouble if things are exposed. Your husband will be in the same place you are, right? Hold on. What are you actually going on about right now? There's no way anyone is going to find out about all of this. I don't even think anything you're talking about right now has happened before. I have no memory. I happen to be pretty forgetful when it comes to things of the past, after all. And as for your father actually being the superintendent, that was just a joke, right? You think I'm telling any jokes at a time as serious as this? Do you really think you can just get the sheriff to just drop whatever it was you've done? The fact that you even think something like that can always work for you is a major problem. I've already spoken with my dad about this, and he's already working on dealing with the both of you. Huh? You didn't actually tell him about everything, did you? So, does this really mean that your father is the superintendent of the Metro Police? Did you always have someone in your family that important? I never really talked about the kind of work my dad does. A lot of times my family likes to think it's a pain to have to talk with everyone about who my dad is and such, so we just keep our mouths shut about him. So it's nothing out of the normal for you to have not been aware of who he is either. but what I've told you about him is the truth. And now you're most definitely going to be placed under arrest. And the same thing's going to happen with your husband. Wait. Isn't this all a little bit strange? Calm down over there, Shea. What is all of this? What are you actually talking about right now? Did you really just say that my husband and I are going to be placed under arrest? What do you mean by that? Tell me when I ever did anything that requires me to be taken away by the police. What? You're asking me something like that right now? You just went and hit someone's kid last night while drunk driving, and then told me you were going to exploit your husband's rank in the police to get away with it. Saying something like that now about what you've done is so crazy that I have nothing to say about it, actually. Now, please take the time to really think about all you've done and reflect on it a bit. Wait a second. I get it now. You're really, really upset at me for what happened, but I'll apologize to you for it. That should be enough for you, right? Huh? I'm really sorry. I feel really bad now for what I've done. I never meant to cause any harm to the little fella. I was being very careless at the time. I forgot about how much I had to drink, and then I got in the car without having anyone come and stop me. I really caused a lot of trouble for your little guy. Is Cam going to be all right? But I still happen to be a part of his family. Can we just get past all of this as a family and not have to involve anyone else? Seriously? You're joking right now, correct? What do you mean by calling this a joke? I'm being completely serious right now about having felt really bad for you guys. I've learned my lesson even. Yesterday I was in such disbelief over what I'd done when I'd come home, and that kept me up all night long. I really didn't get any sleep last night thinking about him. But at the beginning of this conversation you said you slept really well, didn't you? I was just trying to act tough. In reality, I never slept at all because I was so worried. But I didn't want to have you seeing how worried I've been, so I tried to act tough. I'm really sorry, okay? You can understand that, right? Come on. Now you're trying way too hard. What the hell just happened to you there? Did you really think acting like that was going to fool me any? What? Don't tell me, Shea, that after your sister-in-law went through saying all of that to you, you're not going to forgive her still? That would be very narrow-minded of you, right? If you keep acting that narrow-minded after what happened, then you're going to start making Jonas hate you. You'll become hated by my parents as well, and then you might have to go through a really painful divorce, all right? Don't worry about that, because all of them are on my side right now. What? What do you mean they're all on your side? They're all my family, though, right? What you did, my husband ended up seeing with his own eyes. Have you still not realized just how upset he is with you now? What? Is that the reason why I have all these calls from him, too? Now things are really becoming a pain for me. I never knew that he was around when all that happened, too. But him being there has nothing to do with me. Him and my parents are all my family, which means that they have to be on my side in all of this, until the very end. So if you don't want to be hated by all my family, you need to start being a bit more forgiving, and we can start by forgiving one another right now, okay? There is nothing I need your forgiveness for right now, though. Also, even if none of your family was on my side in all of this, I still have my dad, who is furious with you and your husband right now. And neither of us will ever be letting you get off the hook. You and your husband are finished. We're going to make you both pay for all the things you've done up until this moment. Wait a second, Shea. This can't be happening, right? I just apologized to you from the bottom of my heart, right? At least let me settle out of court with you, please. If you don't give us a little slack, both my husband and I will be in trouble. By the way, your father is the superintendent, right? Then perhaps you can talk with him and have all of this swept under the rug for us? Huh? Did you just completely forget about everything we just talked about there? You must be suffering from some serious dementia or something. Don't say something like that to me. You and I are family, right? If we were really family, then you would have never avoided us after hitting my son, and you would have never stayed away from the hospital, and you would have never said that you'd get your husband to cover all of this up. These are the reasons why I no longer think of you as my family. If you can understand that now, would you please screw off? Hey, you're talking too much. Also, no matter how much you happen to hate me, Jonas is still my brother, right? So even if you try, you'll never be able to cut ties to me. As family, why don't we just try to stay close? You would never want a member of your family being tried as a criminal, right? Jonas already told me that he no longer sees you as his older sister and that he never wants to see you again. What? Jonas said that? Well, of course he did. Cam isn't just my son, but Jonas's son as well, right? Jonas is really pissed off right now as well, and he said he will never be forgiving you. We already spoke with your parents, and they both have gone and cut ties to you as well now. Huh? None of them can do that to me. We're family, right? What the hell do they all think they're doing not helping a family member out when they're in a pinch? Do you understand, Shea? I am your family. No matter how hard you try and twist things, they won't bend. Thinking that you could ever be forgiven for hitting someone else's child while driving drunk is way beyond me. Are you really that much of an insect? I'm kind of enthused by how crazy you're behaving right now. I already knew that you'd try using your husband's position to have all of this covered up, but the fact that you actually tried to say that to me without a care in the world for what you'd done is just unbelievable. Both you and your husband are literal scum. But thankfully, I have no plans of ever talking to you guys again. Just take yourself to the police station right now and have them arrest you right there. And then you can watch as your husband has the same thing happen to him. Wait, Shea, we'd really be in heaps of trouble at that point. Help us. I'll apologize to Cam himself about what happened. I've told you many times already, haven't I? Apologizing right now is too late for you. I'm not even interested in talking with you now, so could you please stop? Now enjoy having to go to prison and being rehabilitated there. I hope you regret everything you've done while you rot there. I'm so sorry, Shea. I never meant to cause any harm. If nothing happens to save me, I'll really become a criminal. Save me. Tell the police to leave me alone and that I did nothing wrong. Wait, you're asking that now after you just went and tried to assault someone? You came at me carrying a knife of some sort, right? And that's why you were taken down right on the spot by the police. What did you think was going to happen? You're being a total dick right now. I was already disowned by both of my parents and my brother and have not gotten any help from anyone. My husband's been taken into custody by the police and is under investigation now and is going to have to hand over a lot of money for what happened as well. And because of that, he's now blaming me out of spite. I'm already having to go to court to be sued by you for driving drunk and hitting Cam on top of having to actually be charged for those crimes. Why am I the only one having to go through all this hell right now? Isn't this screwed up? All of this is because of you, Alexa. Are you really saying that right now? If that's the case, then perhaps it's time for you to open those eyes. What do you mean, open my eyes? I mean what I just said. Why are you blaming me for all of this? You can hate me all you want, but how about you begin to hate yourself now as well? My son and I are victims of your actions. Understand that? You literally hit my son with your car and have sent him to the hospital where he is going to have to stay now for 2 months. I have every right to want to sue you after that out of my anger. Yet for some reason you still don't seem to think you've done anything worth being sued over, right? But what? There are no buts anymore. All you're doing right now is trying to blame me for all the horrible choices you've made. And the reason your husband is being held in a jail cell right now while he's being investigated for his crimes is because of what you'd done and had him cover up. The reason your husband has to go through hell now is because of you. So it kind of makes sense for him and everyone else to be upset with you now, right? I mean, he's to blame as well for a lot of these things, considering he made the final choice as a sheriff to help cover up all your crimes. Who do you think you are talking to me like that? You don't know anything about me. I really don't, and I don't ever want to either. I mean, you literally came at me with a knife out of spite for the crimes you'd already committed, making you a criminal at heart. So of course I'd never even be able to understand you if I tried. Now that's all from me. Wait, what about the police? What was that? What about them? You think I'm going to ask them to let you get away? I want them to take you away so that you'll have a very long time to regret what you've done, and maybe even learn to be a decent member of society again. Everything you've done is not only illegal, but felonies to the highest degree. You should understand all of that without even having to listen to me tell you, right? Your family and my son are all saddened by the person you've turned out to be. And when it comes to myself, I'm sad as well, but I'm also very upset. What? So that's why my family isn't helping me right now? They all believe that this is my fault? Are you starting to finally get things now? You've been acting like a selfish prick for the longest time now, and all that selfishness is finally coming back to bite you in the ass. I think you really need to start taking responsibility for all of that now. Jonas is praying that you learn from what you've done. He doesn't want to see his older sister turning out the way you've been. And as for me, I never wanted to see my son ending up the way he did due to his own aunt's reckless actions. He's only 5. Yet he's had to experience something that's left him immobilized in a hospital bed. It hurts me deeply to see him that way. Is that so? I'm really sorry, Shea. I don't know what I should be saying now. You don't have to say anything now. Just learn from your mistakes and change your life around, please. There were people that actually trusted and believed in you. So do it for them.
I just got a call from my mom not too long ago. My sister ended up getting a divorce from her husband.
Is that what happened between those two? Well, after all that's happened so far between those two now, I can understand why.
Are you happy with having them pay us that much in court settlements after that long battle for Cam? I'm sure not forgiving either one of them still, but something in your eyes said otherwise.
I'm not happy with everything yet, and sure have not forgiven Alexa. But seeing her and her now ex-husband paying up did make me realize she might actually be able to change. With that, I hope her time in prison will really give her a chance to change for the better and come out of there as a decent member of society someday.
My mom was saying that when Alexa called her from her jail cell the other night, she explained how sorry she really was, and that she'd take full responsibility by pleading guilty, which she thankfully did. I think that does show that Alexa will be willing to change her ways in prison to make up for what she'd done. I'll just have to see how long that actually takes her.
Really, I'm just happy that Cam is starting to heal up really well now after his surgeries, and that he'll be able to properly play outside again soon. And in all honesty, he doesn't seem to be traumatized after all of that.
Alexa said that she'd someday like to come and apologize to Cam. But my dad told her it's better to never come around the 3 of us again. Which makes sense considering all she'd done. At least we have all that money we'd won from her now. Really makes you wonder if she was ever thinking about the rest of us like family. I'm sure she does now after all that's gone down. But it's too late for her there, right?
That's right. I just pray now that when she does get released, she can find a life of her own someplace else and never come back to us. It hurts me to have to say this, but perhaps her drunk driving and almost killing our son was that kind of help that she needed to help break her out of that crippling selfishness. But the outcome to all of this is really going to be up to her now. After all that had happened, Alexa ended up being sentenced to 15 years in prison for her crimes of driving under the influence and almost killing my son with her car. And that was after having to pay my husband and I a settlement of $150,000 for our son. She was also given another 5 years for attempted murder after coming at me with that knife before the police stopped her about 6 feet away from me. Nobody in the family is ever going to forgive her for what she'd done, and that emotion will carry on even after she's out of the prison and walking the streets again. But one thing is for sure, and that is that she is well aware of that now, and will hopefully use that shame and regret to fix herself for everyone's sake. She may never be able to come back to her original family ever again, but I'm hoping that she'll make a new family of her own later in life. Or at least be able to return to life without falling back into the rut of selfishness she'd been in around us. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.